Over the last 5-6 years, I have sold a lot of silver. I have made a lot of silver as well. This is just a little list of some of the core products of Silver Forum and Backyard Bullion bars that we've made. 5,200 ounces. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because there's plenty more on top of all of that we've sold. And it's really given me a lot of insight that I think is quite valuable to share with you all about buying and selling silver as a micro business. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for a precious metal ramble. Now, earlier this week I was asked a really insightful comment by a subscriber who wanted to know quite how much poured silver I have created over my lifespan of making poured silver products and selling them. And it really got me thinking. It was a very interesting question, and one that I was reflecting on quite a lot over the last couple of days. Because I do think, as well as sharing some of the numbers, I've got some numbers written down here of some of the things that we've made over the years, and it's quite staggering how much it's all added up to be quite frank. But also to share some of the insights as a buyer, as a seller, as somebody who's basically been a dealer of sorts by taking raw material, making it into something else and selling it, sharing some of my bits of experience, some of the pitfalls, some of the things to think about, perhaps if you are a buyer and seller yourself, or if you're looking to get into it, or if you're just a stacker who maybe is thinking, one day I might need to sell some of my stuff. What do I need to think about? So lots of really insightful things to come from this, and it is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm not here to really tell you how you should run a business or make financial decisions, just sharing some of my own experiences from this. So please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you are enjoying our content as we go throughout, then please feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you've not subscribed to the channel already. And if you really want to support the channel, the best thing that you can do is to head on over to our website and look to support it by purchasing some of our 2021 editions of the 1 ounce silver forum bars. I've got them on the mind because I've made so bloody many of them, but these are our Backyard Bullion bars. They are available. There's I think about 15 or so left in stock at the moment, so head on over to our website and you can have a look at those and some of the other bits and bobs that we've got listed. So where to start? I mean, I got this question a couple of days ago, so about Wednesday last week, and I've been mulling it over the last few days about quite how much poured silver I've done. And it's really difficult to kind of segregate because there are different ways that I pour silver. So a lot of the time it's just simply I will buy a large stock of raw material. I will then pour what I'm pouring. I will then, of course, sell it, and I will have a record of how much money I've spent on buying the raw material and then manufacturing the raw material, or all the additional costs of the manufacturing process, the hallmarking process, which is just the integral part of everything that we do, the assay verification of it all, which costs money. And then, of course, you've got your sale price and you can work out. And I've got records, of course, I've got in-depth records about everything that I've sold, and I can certainly go and look all of that up and be more accurate. But what I've done is compiled a little list of all of the different products that I've made. The nuts and bolts of that first little comment, by the way, was that there are also other ways that I've worked with poured silver. So I've taken silver from people and melted it down and made poured pieces from it. So I haven't had to buy the raw material. I've just charged for my time. So that's an interesting one, because I've made stuff, but I haven't bought the silver to get it started, if that makes sense. So there are different ways of working as a poured silver producer, as a kind of dealer in that sense, and working on that. But it is interesting. The vast majority of what I do is, of course, buying raw material stock, making a product, and then selling it. And we've done that quite a lot over the last 5 years now. So this little list here is compiling all of the Silver Forum bars for 2017 to 2021, all of my channel bars from 2018 to 2021, and that's just the channel bars. That's just what we've done here. And you can see, you can have a pause and have a read. Those are the mintages on the various different sizes. We've got 100 gram, 1 ounce, 250 grams we started with in 2017-18, but we quickly moved away from those because they were not the most pretty bars with the stamp sizes that we had. We went to 3 and 5 ounce. So lots of bars there, and those are just the kind of the core products. Those are just the things that we do. The Silver Forum bars and rounds are the backbone of the yearly production that we make, and I love making them, and it's great to support the forum. It's great to do as a as a channel and have them there. But that's literally just the core. We do so much on top of all of those, and those numbers alone equate to 5,228 ounces. Now, I just want to point out as well that those are, let's get that chess piece out of the way. These numbers here, are based on exact weights of these pieces. When you pour silver, you don't get exact weights. You have to, you can, but you don't get as pretty looking a bar. So when I pour 1 ounce bars, my average over pour is about 1.03%. So across 100 bars, there will be 3 ounces extra worth of silver. So these are just raw numbers. So you could probably add a good 3% on top of this number here, which really is quite a lot when you have it spanned over 5,000 ounces, which, in fact, let's do a little bit of the maths right now. So if we've got 5,228 ounces and we times that by 1.03, we get, then we need to subtract 5, 2, 2, 8, we get 156 ounces worth of silver that I have over poured in these pieces alone, that I've basically given away for free, because you end up with the 1 ounce minimum, the 3 ounce minimum, etc. So that in itself is pretty mad. Now, that doesn't even touch the surface, I think, of how much poured silver I've made over the last 5-6 years, because above and beyond this, we've done other projects for other businesses. We've done things like the owl bars for Backyard Bullion. We've done there was JHO knives up in Singapore. There was the wolf bars that we did, the wolf rounds that we did last year. There was big chess sets that we've done. We've done 5 of those chess sets now at like 150 ounces a set. You know, it's it adds up, you know. And when you take all of the other pieces that I've done, the ad hoc things like they've just got a small selection in here right now, but things like our UK map bars, the Britain map bars, Tetris sets, hearts, globes, planet Earths, goodness me. I mean, the repertoire is quite large as to quite how much we've done over the last 5 years, which I'm immensely proud of, but it certainly does add up bloody quick. So I've done a guesstimate based on my kind of stock keeping spreadsheets and bookkeeping, basically, that on top of this number here, which is the core Silver Forum products and my Backyard Bullion channel bar products, that we're looking, I mean, goodness me as well, I've forgotten one key element, which is the kilo pieces. We've done about 30 kilos of pieces, if not more, in fact. No, I think more, because we're doing the kilo cubes for the elemental table, which we've done 12 of alone, and we've done about 25 of the kilos for other people. So, you know, we're looking easily at 10,000 plus ounces, if not more, now for the poured silver, which is mad, and it is great. It's wonderful. It's down to all of you people out there who buy and support our poured silver. But it does mean that there's a significant amount of it out there on the market, which I think is really interesting. Wonderful to think that there's these pieces just spread around the globe, you know, shipping internationally. So this is now where I want to move into the second part of the video, which is sharing some of my insights as a seller, as a buyer, as a kind of dealer in that sense. I don't think I would class myself as a kind of professional dealer, but I would class myself as a professional kind of artisan product maker. These globes are not going to stay still, are they? You know, I make this stuff and I pour this stuff and I sell this stuff as a business. I make no bones about it that I, do this to make money, to make profits. And, could I go and earn more money doing other things, selling other products, or making money in a different job? Yeah, probably. But I love what I do and I enjoy the process of creating. It's so fulfilling to be a creator, to actually work with real things and physically make something that's unique and very, very cool and different. And that's one of the cool things that I've really known about this last 5 years of creating stuff. But in terms of the kind of logistics of things, buying silver is really interesting. So for over the last sort of 5 years, the purchasing of raw material has really evolved. Prior to sort of Brexit and everything, you could get raw material from Europe. You had to sort of buy really in quite high bulk to make it kind of really beneficial for shipping costs and things like that. So, economy of scale is a really important element of any kind of business. And if you can get that economy of scale going and buy more than just, a few ounces at a time, if you're going to do it seriously, you really need to kind of hammer down budgets and really get to grips with things. And that's ultimately what I ended up sort of doing at the start. I remember, I shared the story before, I remember turning to Mrs. Backyard Bullion and saying, I want to buy a furnace and melt silver as a hobby and maybe try and sell some. She looked at me quite quizzically, quite mad, and not the only person as well. There were quite a few friends and family that I told about it as well at the time, and they were very, very like, okay, sure, go for it, just don't hurt yourself. But I rolled a small sort of hobby business budget over and over again each time, and eventually it just sort of exploded into what it is today, which is incredible. So in terms of the buying side of things, it's, buying is interesting. It's literally just a case of being numb to the fact that you're spending tens of thousands of pounds on raw material. One of the best things about a poured silver business is that there is literally a silver lining, in that you will, of course, always have value in your raw material stock. If you were making plastic injection molding or 3D printing and you needed to get all the raw materials for that, a lot of what you're buying there will have some value, but really very little compared with silver. Of course, with silver, unless the spot price completely changes and collapses downwards, you're always going to get a certain amount out of your raw material stock, which is just an incredible position to be in as any business. And I really do feel for all these businesses out there in the world that struggle on a month-by-month basis if they've got products or raw material that spoils, or raw material that goes unsold that needs to be liquidated. And it can often fuel the future growth of a business to try and get more of this stuff in. And that's really interesting as an insight. In terms of the logistics of selling, so this is the other thing. Having sold over 10,000 ounces of silver over my lifetime, if not more, I would honestly, I've done cursory looks, but I genuinely think it will be, it'll be over 10,000 easily. And the logistics of selling to people around the world is not to be underestimated. A lot of people think that the pouring, the stamping, the hallmarking, getting everything right on the product is the hard bit. The hard bit is the actual sell. The hard bit is physically getting the customers in, which to this day, sometimes makes me just question what I'm doing to get it right, because sometimes I'll make things, or at the start I made things and I was thinking, really? I mean, it's not that great, but people still wanted it, and it is what it is. And I think I've honed my craft to a point now where things are easier to sell, but still it is a graft. You have to work for things and work hard for things as well. And the logistics of selling is difficult. So a lot of people think it's really easy just to be able to sell anything. But when it comes to even just your own products and selling poured silver or premium products or premium coins, you have to work for it, and people don't necessarily understand that. People think that, it'd just be easier, I can sell this and I can get X price, or I paid X amount for it so that I'm going to easily get this much out of it at the other end. You have to put work in for that. You have to put the logistics in for that. You have to think about packaging, shipping, insurance, all of these things, storage. There are countless amounts of different elements that need to go into a business selling any kind of precious metal or poured silver or whatever it might be, any product, to be quite frank. What are you going to do about items that go missing or things that you're sending internationally with insurance purposes? There are so many countless questions that you need to ask. And I'm also very proud of the fact that over the course of this last 5 years, with the logistic element being challenging, it's not made me shy away from things. There are a lot of sellers, for example, in the US, which will just not touch international sales, and that's perfectly fine. I get it. I mean, I get it from the bottom of my heart. I know how challenging and frustrating and annoying it is if you send something abroad and it goes missing. We've had a few parcels go abroad that have, we've only had one, I think, which has never turned up. We've had one that was stolen from a post office. And on both occasions, it was completely insured, fully insured, and we got things, of course, all rectified. We got payouts from the Royal Mail and everything. But if you perhaps cut a corner and you didn't send it with the quite right service, you might be up the brown creek without a paddle. So as a seller, I get it if you are hesitant and reticent to send things internationally for customers. But again, it's about working for your returns. And if you do embrace those international customers and are able to ship internationally, it opens up this whole new extra market for you. And there are a countless amount of examples of people who have done that successfully and who are able to do that successfully. And it is really, really interesting to see. So lots of different factors to sort of factor in when it comes to being a small business. And I hope that some of the things I've talked about today have been quite enlightening. I mean, one day I will perhaps do a real in-depth audit as to quite how much silver I've bought over my lifetime, because one thing that is really evident, it's very strange. For my business, for the poured silver side of things, I am meticulous to the nth degree. So I have got, and I could go away and find down to quite literally the 0.2 decimal places of an ounce how much silver I've sold over the course of my tenure as a silver poured producer. The reason I haven't for this video is a number of reasons. First up, I kind of want to keep a little bit private about my own personal affairs and my own business affairs. If I give you an exact ounce volume amount, it's quite a lot of private information, really. And also, there's an element of time. It will take me a significant amount of time to really go back and audit through all of my bookkeeping. So whilst I know it, I don't really want to go and dig it out and take the time to do that and also share it publicly. So I hope you guys understand that. But I give a good estimate over 10,000 ounces. And I've completely lost my train of thought. I was going to put an and there's a second point I was going to make here. But still, the point remains valid that there is a lot to be learned, I think, from my experiences as a silver pouring producer. And I do think that there is such fulfillment to be had from running a small business, and it's not something to put people off. Even though it's challenging, even though there are logistical hurdles, the amount of satisfaction that you get from being a creator, from something that you make with your hands and having customers which are so amazing, like the customer base that I have, there are no words quite to describe how amazing you all are for the support that you give and continue to give to our brand, to our poured silver. It really is incredible. And if there is anyone out there who wants to support our brand and wants to support our poured silver, as I said, we have got some of our channel bars in stock on our website, as well as a few other select items that are currently in stock. So head on over to our website. There's a link down in the description below, and you can check them out. And that's the best way to support our channel. Of course, other than liking, if you have enjoyed the video, you can hit that thumbs up. That really does help everything here on YouTube. So that's it from me. If you've got any questions, if there's anyone who's got any comments or experiences they would like to share, then make sure you hit us up down in the comment section. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.